Okay, so leaving where we last left off, what we're going to be doing is adding floors, stairs, cutouts on the floors, and then of course railings. So just so you know too that you don't have to follow what I have, you can make it your own in original. I was just showing you some options when it actually comes to the configuration of this little notch right over here, or even this cantilever, or even this backspace for a balcony. Okay, so doing floors is exactly the same as the previous project, and it's quite easy to do. So let's start here with the basement. And I'm going to go on my architectural ribbon. If you're in another command, just hit escape or ESC on your keyboard twice to kind of clear that out. So clicking on floor, and then what I'm going to do is not go with boundary lines. I like to draw everything up by hand, so I'm going to just select the line tool here. Now I'm going to put the floor on the inside here, but I don't want to follow the contour of the footing because the footing is actually wider than the actual basement walls. So following the inside, it's going to come all the way over to the inside walls of the actual basement level. Now it's important that I don't have any gaps and that I don't have anything extending outwards. So once I have this fully enclosed, hit the check mark. Now here's the kicker. It says, would you like the walls that go up to this floor level to attach to its bottom? I always say don't attach. Otherwise it creates this really weird kind of funky cutout geometry on the exterior of your house. So I'm just going to go don't attach. So let's have the doghouse or have a look at that view. And you can see right over here that there is my very first floor. Okay, so let's go to the next floor, the main. Same thing. Let's go to floor, pick the lines, and this one I'm also going to do on the inside. And I'm going to follow the contour and make sure I don't actually follow the contour below or the perimeter, because that would be the basement walls. So we know that our main floor walls are 6 inches, and so I actually need to find that thickness to make sure there's a bit of a ledge there. Hit the check mark, and again, never attach. All right, let's hit the doghouse, have a look. So now there's our main floor here. Now when we do this floor, we're going to actually just go to the very, very outside, and the reason is because we don't have a negative lip here or kind of a lip right over here. So going to my second floor, and then I'm going to go again floors. Going with this, I'm going to actually go to the outside. Otherwise, if I go here, I'm going to have a bit of a weird lip. So now I'm going to follow the outside contour or perimeter of our second floor wall. And the reason why I'm extending it outwards is because I want to cover that gap. Okay, so hitting my doghouse, let's have a look, and you can see that now I have the flat surface here for my rooftop balcony, or sorry, my second floor balcony, and you can see that I also plugged up the hole in the cantilever on the second floor. Of course, this is assuming if you actually made those kind of changes. Make it your own, so do what you need to, but you don't have to follow exactly what I'm saying here. Okay, so let's go to stairs now. Now, what I need you to do or remember is you always start your stairs from the basement and then make your way upwards. Because your stairs are going to go from the basement to the main, and then your second staircase is going to go from the main to the second floor. Now, so starting in the basement, I'm going to add some stairs. Now, in adding stairs, there's a couple things to remember. That when you choose a staircase, choose the appropriate type of staircase. You might not want to go with an L on a skinny home. You might just want to go with just a straight run. Or you can maybe go with a semicircle or center end spiral. I'm going to choose to actually go with this one right over here just for the time being. Now, the next thing that you need to remember about your staircase is you should probably have all your levels planned, in that you need to know where all your rooms are going to be, because you're not just going to smack your staircase right in the middle and then just kind of work around your rest of your floor plan with that. Okay, so I'm going to start to create my staircase, and I'm left clicking and dragging, and you'll notice that I've got 12 risers created and 6 remaining. I actually have to bring this all the way to the very, very, very end until I actually got 0 remaining, and now I'm just going to release. And there's my staircase. And like anything else, I can go ahead and I can take my staircase and I can move it. And I'm just going to put it right into place over there. Suppose I decided to go with a different staircase. That's easy enough to do that. And you might need to rotate that staircase. So I'm just going to click on this, then the rotate, and then you'll see I have my little swing arm here. So I'm going to left click to plant the swing arm, And then I'm going to rotate this so I get a nice 90 degrees. Pretty close. There we go. All right, and then I can go ahead and I can move this if I wanted to over here. Okay, so I'm not going to go with the staircase, but just wanted to show you the possibilities. And I'm going to delete that. Now, once I'm finished adding my staircase, I'm going to hit the check mark. And then there's my first staircase. So let's go ahead and hit the doghouse. And I'm going to go ahead and just hide the entire category. And the reason why I want to hide this category is because I actually want to look to see what's going on. Okay, so there's my first run of stairs, and you can see right off the bat I have a staircase fail. Yes, believe it or not, staircases have been made like this where there's actually no cutout, and you're not going to go anywhere. Don't believe me? Let's go check it out. So let's look at staircase fails. Whoops, misspelled that. And you can see just by some of the pictures that people actually constructed this stuff, as funny as it actually might be. Yeah, there is a cutout over here, but definitely not enough headroom, so we have to learn from that mistake. And where's the one I'm looking for in particular? This one literally has no cutouts whatsoever. Here it is. So yeah, huge staircase fail right there. Big problem. So we don't want that to happen. Now, we're going to put in some cutouts in just a bit, but let's actually go ahead and put our next staircase in from main to second. So let's go and double click on main. And you'll notice that here's the top of the staircase, and this is going to be really important for us because another rule you need to remember when doing staircases is you should always stack them on top of each other. So don't put one staircase over here and then end up putting another staircase all the way over here because it's just really an inefficient use of space. Okay, so let's go ahead. Again, I'm going to go stairs. And I might not have it perfectly aligned, but when I start to fully drag this out and make sure I have 0 risers remaining, I can then actually move this afterwards. So I'm going to select this, and I can use my arrow keys, and I'm trying to get this so it's perfectly on top of the existing staircase. And I'm just using the arrow keys, like I said, on my keyboard to help align this nicely. Yeah, that should be close enough. I can make some adjustments afterwards. So let's hit the check mark and then hit my doghouse here. And you can see that they're reasonably lined up with each other. And that's awesome. Okay, so now let's actually worry about the staircase cutout so we actually have enough headroom and escape to get through the various levels. Okay, so let's start with the main floor. I'm going to go ahead and click on the main floor so it's selected. And again, this always works a lot easier when you've actually hidden the category of walls. So once I have this selected, you'll notice that I can actually edit the boundary. So let me go ahead and click on Edit Boundary. And then you can see that I have my original lines that I've drawn for the floor. Let's actually just go into double-click Main here so we can actually see that. All right, so what I need to do is I need to actually do a cutout. Okay, so if I decide to take my line tool and I was to do a cutout by drawing lines, I'm going to have a bit of a problem here. And the problem is Revit architecture does not recognize when lines touch each other. So when I hit my check mark, I'm clearly going to get actually an error saying that lines cannot intersect each other. Okay, so let's continue and fix that. Okay, so what I'm going to actually do is take my modify, and I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to shorten this line all the way here. I'm going to unjoin the elements. Actually, you know what? Let's actually just go ahead and just redraw the line. That actually might be a lot easier. So let me go Control Z. Let's actually click on this line here and hit the delete key. And now I'm just going to use my line tool, and I'm going to connect from this corner here all the way to this line right over here. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, I'm going to go from here all the way here. And now you can see I fully have an enclosed loop and I don't have any extra lines in there, and this is going to work. Hit the check mark. Let's go ahead and save the project right now if you haven't already done so. Put it in your F drive, but I'm just going to throw it on my desktop for now. And I'm going to call this Infill. Okay, so same thing. Would you like to attach? Always say don't attach. Now let's have a look in 3D view what that looks like. Okay, that's not too bad, but I think I can maybe bring this back just a little bit more because again, I want to actually have the headspace for this. So again, let's actually go ahead, hit escape, clear the command prompt, click on the floors, edit boundary, And I don't have to go to the two-dimensional view because what I can actually do is I can just kind of shape this and just put this right about there and then hit my check mark, and you can actually see that moving and shifting over. Okay, so that takes care of that opening. So let's go ahead and do the same for this one and edit the boundary. Okay, I will elect to go to the second floor here. And again, taking my line tool, I'm going to make some adjustments here. So I'm going to adjust that and come across like that. And just from experience, we know that this is not going to work. And then we're going to have to actually do a little bit of redrawing. Okay, so again, I'm going to come from this corner. Whoops, I guess I got to get rid of that line first. So let's go ahead and delete that. And one last adjustment. Okay, that should do it. Let's have a quick look, and there's my second cutout. Just so you know too, that if you wanted to do a cutout to like maybe a portion that looks down to the main floor, you can do so. I'm going to edit my boundary here, and then what I can literally do, and this also applies if I have an L staircase shape or a U staircase shape, is I can actually just do a cutout of a shape. Now, obviously, I don't want a hole right in the middle of my second floor because that's not efficient planning, but you'll notice that there's a gap between, say, this line and this. They're not touching each other. So now you can see I actually have a cutout right over here. I don't want that, but I just want to show you what you can do and what the possibilities may be. Okay, so let's just get rid of that and just hit the check mark. Okay, awesome. Now, if you notice, I do have some cutouts that are functional. You can definitely access the various floors with plenty of headroom. I got a bit of a safety concern though. And the safety concern is that I have this big hole and I need to sort of put some protection so kids don't fall down from like on the second floor to the main floor. So we're gonna go ahead and add some railings. So let's actually just start on the main floor here. And you'll notice that I'll probably need to add railings from here to here, and that's super easy to do. So let's hit escape a couple times. You'll notice right close to stairs, we actually have railings. And then with my line tool selected, I'm just going to go ahead here and draw that out to about there. Now I realize that my staircases are not perfectly aligned. That's fine. Let's hit the check mark and see what it looks like. Okay, great. And that takes care of that part. Now let's do the same over here, but I have to add a little extra right over here too. So not just this run, but also this run here too. So one more time, let's go to the second floor, hit the railing. Let's draw a line from here to say here, and from here to roughly here. So probably need to pull that out just a little bit more. I could easily go ahead and reset the railing or just delete it and redraw it. I'll let you take care of that. Okay, so let's actually do some railing modification here. Since we're doing an infill home and it has quite a modern look, let's actually give it a modern type of railing. So you'll notice right here that if I click on this railing, I have handrail, rectangular. I can definitely give it much more of a modern look. So I'm actually going to go with a guardrail pipe. And you can see the difference in terms of effect and how much more relaxed and modern that looks. And I'll do that over here. Now, since this railing here is going to be against a wall, I don't really need it. So let me just hit delete because walls will go over here. Okay, so let's do the same here. Select a different type of railing and do the same here. It's kind of jumping from one railing to another, and that's a bit frustrating. But once you kind of figure it out, it's not too bad. Okay, so there you go. And that takes care of staircases and railings. Okay, so we're done right now. The stairs, the floor cutouts, adding railings and customizing the railings. In the next video, what we're going to be doing is adding that rooftop and also playing around with different types of roofs to give it a very modern look. Definitely different than, say, a hip roof or a gable roof. Okay, so that's the end of this video or part B. Stay tuned for part C.